So, our topic today is the power of mindfulness and meditation. When you hear that, Monica, what comes to mind for you?
So for me, mindfulness, I my first thing that pops in my head is presence, like just being present in the current moment and not feeling any feelings about the past and not worrying about the future is just like being right where we are and doing the best we can in the current moment. And usually as soon as I think about, am I being mindful right now? Am I being aware? I can feel my breath slow down. I can feel my body just click back on. Like, okay, we're out of the autopilot. And now we can be like, okay, slow down the breathing, relax that jaw muscle, lower those shoulders. And it just doesn't seem so, whatever I was thinking about doesn't seem so important and doesn't cause as much stress if I'm staying
Mhm.
mindful of being present and what's happening right now.
Yeah, I think that word present is really powerful. I'm sure a lot of people feel that struggle, like we're not really programmed to be present. We're always thinking about so many different things at one time. Even on our trip, I have to stop myself and be like, I need to recognize what I'm doing at this moment in time, the life that we're getting to live right now, and enjoying these moments versus thinking like, oh, what's going to happen next? What are we doing this and that? Like, no, take a second to step back and just enjoy where we are in the moment and really just cherish it. Because if you don't think about it, you're just going through the motions. I have to remind myself I'm living a life that some people don't get to live in their entire lifetimes, seeing things that people never get to stop and see and experience. So, yeah, super grateful for that word, mindfulness. It's something that I try, especially nowadays, I've been trying to be more intentional about.
hmm And what you just said was like sometimes we don't think about it, literally what it is. Like your brain just goes into autopilot. You're not thinking about what's
Mhm.
currently happening, you know? Because if you do stop and think, you're like, look at this amazing trip that we're on. Look at this, all this amazing stuff we get to see, and the fact that we get to work from wherever. And I think it's an easy connection to make mindfulness to gratitude. Because generally, as soon as you start becoming mindful, you can find things to be grateful for.
Mhm.
So I just think it's like an easy one too, you know?
I don't know why this just popped into my head, but so we're in Washington State right now. We went to Mount Rainier,
Gorgeous.
and I think that must be like the highest elevation point I've ever been because my ears were going crazy. And usually I can yawn and it'll pop, whatever. My ear was messed up for like a full straight 4 or 5 hours. And I was like, am I ever going to be able to hear out of this ear again? Things like that, where I'm like, man, you don't appreciate what you have until it's gone. People are like that with the stuffy nose, and they're like, man, if I could just breathe again, like, no, but you don't appreciate
Right.
it when you have it in the moment. And it's crazy to have those kinds of experiences to kind of remind you.
Agreed.
Yeah. Brian, how's it going? Good to see you.
How are you? I'm actually doing a lot of fun things right now because can't make phone calls because we're hunkered down in Tampa. Why would you make phone calls right now for Tampa? So
Right.
I don't want to piss people off and get them all upset.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
We're not door
I
knocking either.
actually, no door knocking. So we actually decided to stay. We were going to go up to Jacksonville, but I was like, yeah, let's just stay. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea's family was like, let's just stay. They wanted to stay, so we shuttered up. We're in Newport Richie. We're out of the flood zone. We're fine. So I'm sitting on my computer, and I went to Clever Summit, and I went to this last one. I'm affiliated with Red Barn, so that's basically a franchise. And I'm telling you, I'm so excited. They've got some badass stuff going on. I actually am a cartel member on in Investor Lift because of that.
Hmm.
So I'm so excited that we have a lot of things going on. But in the last two summits, I'm like, I've got to put myself back out there. Already felt that way. And, the whole talk to you guys last time about the imposter syndrome. I've got 8 years of experience in this. I've got some experience to share, and I've got connections with people who know more than me. So it's like, why not actually do this for real and not give up on it, not slow down on it, and just really go forward. So I started putting it out there. I
Cool.
changed my logo for Newbie Zoo podcast. I'm going to do Newbie Zoo podcast again. So keep it going. It
Nice.
was a year ago I started it. It was a
Wow.
year ago. Yeah. And I started it and stopped it pretty quickly. it was a
Mm-hmm.
lot of work. It's a lot of work to put a podcast together. So
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I need to really think through what I want to do. And part of what I feel like from the summit, you were there, correct, Jackie?
Clever Summit?
You and
No.
Ray? Clever. Okay. So,
No,
okay.
yeah.
Patrick Bet David said amazing things. So I've been in this 8 years. I've reached the six figures. I've reached 100,000, the last 5 years. Now it's time to step it up to the next level. And the next level was 100,000, a million. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like I'm in the second phase, and that second phase is building teams and growing leaders, you know, being a leader basically. So I'm like, okay, I have to be that leader that everybody needs here in this space. So that's what I'm about to do. I'm about to become who I need to be. And that's part of mindset too, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So yeah,
That's awesome.
I'm excited. There's a lot of fun things and scary things at the same time, but I know that if I just stick with it and keep going with it, things are going to come together. People are looking at me to have a little bit of answers. They're looking to me as someone who has some expert knowledge in this. And I tell you, I've put my 10,000 hours in and making phone calls and doing deals and doing this for 8 years. I've definitely done that. So now it's just okay. Let's put it out there and not back down. Do
Mm-hmm.
I know it all? By no means do I know it all. But if I don't know it all, I will find someone that can help us know it all. So the
Mm-hmm.
first step I'm going to do, and just putting it out there for you guys, I'm going to do once a month online meet and greet online once a month only. And I'm opening it up nationwide and to people in Red Barn, sub to whoever else, Astro Flipping, whoever else wants to be a part of it, open it up to anybody. I'm going to put it on my Instagram and Facebook, and I have Red Barn affiliates who are nationwide. There's about 110 franchisees in this franchise. So there's about
Okay.
110 people that could possibly come on, and then I've got all of you guys, the sub two, if you can, when you can, if it's possible. But I was gonna do it on a Tuesday night. It's like, oh nope, I can't do that. So
Trying to compete with
I
us,
won't.
Brian?
No, actually, at first I thought about it. I was like,
We
wait,
want you on our call.
I know. Well, I decided not to. I'm going to do it on Monday night, the last Monday of every
Nice.
night of every month.
Cool. Cool.
So the cool thing that my orange and black and purple theme on Newbie Zoo, that if you see it on Instagram, it's Halloween. So I mean, let's have fun
Mm.
with
Perfect.
it. I might bring some spooky stories, ask people to share their scary stories.
So
That'd be a fun thing.
when you say meet and greet, is it like just open-ended networking? That's the goal?
It's networking, it's education, it's getting
Okay.
to know people, and that's the encouragement. I'm going to keep it shorter,
Mm-hmm.
maybe an hour and 15 minutes tops. Come on, 6:45, get to know some people, introduce yourself, get started at 7, and it be strict. I'm a teacher, I'm an educator, I understand
Mm.
time, and so I also know how to put something together with time in mind, you know
Mm-hmm.
and I'm very anal when it comes to I have a time limit here because we can get so caught up on talking and being
For
on for
sure.
so long.
That's
So
exciting, Brian. That's
yeah, it'll
awesome.
be timed. And then on top of that, I'll put together a podcast. Again, my background was youth ministry, so I have an ability to put a weekly message together, right?
Mm-hmm.
For the people, and also education. So I have a master's in education. So out of this, I could actually start monetizing that master's, put some training together, put some things out there, some books out there. I can do all sorts of stuff. So just a small plug. I don't know if you know who Angela Duncan is. Do you know who Angela Duncan is?
No.
She is a podcaster. She's an influencer. I met her this week. Her podcast is Empower Her Money podcast.
Hmm.
So she's actually going to be training us in the Red Barn space with tax liens and tax deeds. That's what she does a lot of. But she's pretty cool. I may have her on from time to time. Whoever else I can pull together. But I'm excited about it because you just bring some education, bring some
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
knowledge, and bring it really poignant. Make it a point, and make it just tidbits that people can walk away from And then I'll always encourage, get your numbers, keep your numbers on your Zoom. Make sure people know that how they can reach you. Like I know, Jackie, I love your background right now. Mine's a little, I took mine off because mine was a little bit too much. So I'm gonna put
She had
something
to switch it
simpler.
out. She had her whole like
Yeah,
business
My
come
business one.
come holler at me,
I was
Jackie.
thinking, yeah, I was thinking that too, but I was like, mm-mm, I like the way it is right there, right now. Your name, your Instagram handle, and that's it. Because I
Hmm.
mean, on the Instagram handle, you can have everything, your phone
Hmm.
number and everything. But I
Mm-hmm.
always have my phone number on my Zoom so people can see it too. But I like that, and I've learned that from the Sub 2 community, which is really beautiful. So anyway,
Yeah.
that's what's going on with me. I'm having a good time, man. I'm just growing again and learning how to do better with what my business is. And my girlfriend just gave me a glass of wine.
Let's
Go see her.
go.
You're
Well
you're
done.
awesome. Thank you. I know, right? Thank you. Wow, this is awesome. So
Look at you.
All right.
Okay.
I can handle that.
Do
So yeah,
you
she
have a meditation practice in the mornings to get you focused and
so
empowered to be the leader?
you know, I could do a better one, that's for sure. I need to get back into my routines. That's something that's been coming up a lot. I've been kind of displaced and back and forth. There's a lot of just chaos in my world right now, but the desire is to bring a routine that is actually feasible, that I can actually continue consistently, right? That's my goal. So I'm all ears. What I used to do was I would like, I don't know if you know How Elrod with the
Mm-hmm.
Miracle
Mm.
Morning.
Yeah.
So I used to do that way back in the, beginning of my business. I would sit for 7 minutes in silence, and I would then do the savers and,
Yeah.
the affirmations and the visualizing and all that stuff, right? I used to do that, and that was pretty powerful. But then I stopped, and I read books, and I just have stopped doing that as well because I don't have time. I get up, all that. I just need to build it again.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I'm all ears, Monica, if you have
Yeah.
something that you would suggest.
I always tell people baby steps. Like,
Hmm.
I love the miracle morning, but it's a lot.
It is. It
It's a
is.
lot. I feel like you're just like, it sounds cool, and we all get very
Yeah.
ambitious about it. And then all of a sudden you're just like, I don't have time for this. I
Yeah.
got shit to do, you know? So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I tried to commit to a 10-minute meditation every morning. And
It's
no, I'm
good.
not perfect at it. I don't do it every morning. There are times where
No,
I wake
but
up to crazy text messages and I'm like,
yeah.
okay, well, here we go, you know? Um,
Yeah.
here we go. Let me get this fixed and put the
Yeah.
fire out. But I do try to first thing in the morning just get up and literally put a timer on for 10 minutes. Sometimes I listen to guided meditations, and other times I just put a timer on for 10 minutes and focus on breathing. And I find that the days that I do, I'm so much more focused and just walk through the day with such better energy for whatever happens. Crazy shit happens all the time. It throws us off track.
Right.
But the days
Right.
that I actually know that I did my like centering are the days that I'm the best. And
That's cool.
so now that you're talking about moving into leadership, I feel
Mhm.
like, not that you haven't led before, but like really
No,
actively
I
getting
appreciate
into it,
this. Yeah.
I feel like it's only going to serve you and whoever is in your team,
Yeah.
and help
Absolutely.
you stay like focused on the
Yeah.
goal.
I'm so ADD, so I need it. That's for sure. And these are the kind of things I've already been talking about. And it's again, I'm in a lot of chaos right now, but I'm actually more focused than I've ever been in the chaos. Surprisingly, I think it's grace more than anything. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really something I've done. But when the shit hits the fan, it's really hard to stay focused. And to have that routine is a key element in staying focused when the shit hits the fan, because it's always going to,
Great.
you know?
Always. The other thing when I've done it is doing a brain dump after I meditate. Now that your mind is like
Mm,
soft and pliable, I dump everything on a piece of paper and then pick out whatever the to-dos are for the day and
hmm.
put them on a quick to-do list, and then everything else is for later. And I
Yeah.
try to get back to it at the end of the day just to see one, what I've done,
Yeah.
and then two, even if I'm watching TV, like I like a little TV before, while I'm eating dinner or
Sure.
whatever. And even then, I'll just grab the list out and be like, okay, I did that. Don't need to do this anymore. And then whatever else, I put arrows to do tomorrow.
Yeah.
So just something for you, especially as you're getting more creative with the things that you're doing.
Yeah.
That way you don't forget those smart ideas that pop in. You're like,
Right.
oh, I want to do that, or oh, I want to have that person on my podcast. I can't keep all that in my head. Not,
No. No, I
when
understand
you're.
that completely. Yeah. Well, and I'm starting to learn how to block my schedule better. That's hard for someone
Hmm.
with ADD because you can easily, oh, squirrel, you got over here, you got this going on, and you just go for it. And I'm like, yeah, this is so fun. I'm like, wait, I forgot what I was supposed to do, really first supposed to
Hmm.
do today. So yeah, I'm blocking out content, times for content. So I'm going to set up myself to where I'm actually doing content at this time, whether it be speaking it, putting it out on video, editing it, whatever it is, I'm putting content out.
Nice.
So I'm going to do that because I think content is important in this space. And again, that's where that imposter syndrome, the more I do it, the more I'll get away from that.
Hmm.
The less it's kind of like working out, when you go and you work out in the
Definitely.
gym and you have this really good routine and you feel really good about your routine. And as you keep that going, it's good. But when you do it sporadically, you always feel bad. You always have this, oh, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. I look like shit, feel like shit. All these kind of things. And so it's like the more the routine, the better. So
Hmm.
that's really cool.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
yep.
The
So,
routine helps. And I feel like recently having someone that you can just check in with at the end of the day and
yeah,
say, hey, I did my whatever I was supposed to do today, check mark, kind of helps you stay accountable. Kaylee and I have been doing that with like, she and I have signed up for this somatic stretching that helps you release trauma and tension and all that. And we send each other a check mark at the end of the day that we've done it.
yeah.
That's cool.
And if we don't do it, we have to start at the beginning of the program, which sucks because she told me about some crazy thing that the lady had us doing. I was like, I haven't gotten there yet. I had to restart again. She's like, do it.
Ah, that's cool though. So
Yeah.
meditation in conjunction with being mindful,
Mm-hmm.
because you don't have to meditate in order to be in a mindful state, but I think the practice of meditation and creating that discipline, because I'm kind of the same way, Brian, like my brain's always running.
Right.
So if even when I'm doing a guided meditation, I'm like doing it and then I'm like, oh, I went over here, like, oh, I went over there, and then
And that's
I've cut.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and I think it's
Yeah.
good too, but I've liked implementing the complete silence because I think I've started to notice that maybe I'm
Oh,
just
yeah.
uncomfortable with it. I feel like I
Yep.
always have to fill the space.
Yep.
And I'm like, why do I feel that way? So even just having like 5 minutes of silence, I think is something that I should start implementing a little bit more in my life, but
Yeah.
it all connects together.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
That's
I feel
good.
like mindfulness and meditation could be like a Venn diagram, Um,
Mm,
where because there are mindfulness meditations, and then there's other kinds of meditations, obviously, right? But the mindfulness ones are always trying to bring you back to the present moment. And the way that they help you do that is by paying attention to your breath, because your breath is
right.
right now, always,
Right.
you know?
Right.
So if you start paying attention to your breath, you're naturally going to become mindful. You're naturally going to get back to the present moment. And so a lot of times when you put on like a mindfulness meditation, they're going to have you pay attention to your breath and start counting the inhales
Yeah.
and the exhales. I just said
It was
outhales,
funny.
guys.
It was funny the other day. Chelsea was stressed out. And so she was like, let's just lay down and take a breath. And I was like, okay, so while we do this, then breathe deep. Let's do some breath work. She was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay. I'm
Yep.
breathing, Brian. I said, breathe out, breathe louder. Let me hear it.
Get it down in the belly.
Get it down in the belly. That's right. 4 seconds. 4 seconds. Hold it for
That's
a
right.
second. Another 4 seconds. Let's do this. So it was
Yep.
fun. But
Yep.
I think it calmed me down. I don't know if it calmed her down, but it definitely calmed me down. Yeah, she said it
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
I was
Good.
gonna say it's so
Uh,
crazy how you can just regulate either your breathing or like for example the other day I was just feeling so stressed and Ray just hugged me and my initial reaction was like get off me. I just want to be but then he held on and I calmed down and it's just so crazy how our
freaking weird.
bodies like either they're like heightened with either, because there's so many different factors going on and different people run different ways. I feel like I've grown up to run a little bit more on the hotter side of things. Like if I ever get hurt, he's like, "Oh, let me kiss it. Let me look at." I'm like, "Get the frick away from me." Like don't like I get angry quick, but he's definitely helped me to calm down or take time to like it's like almost like a release. Maybe I need to start doing those somatic stretches with you guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
That was
get on it with us.
yeah,
Her
we put the meditation.
the first video you watched, the lady, you're just laying down the whole time. So I generally do them in bed, and sometimes I'll forget to send her the check mark because I'll fall asleep.
What are
And
they
so in the
called?
morning, somatic, SOM, here, I'll put it in the chat. Somatic stretching. And then I
Okay.
usually do a meditation afterwards. And so I'll just pass out because when you do the stretches, they're the first video you watch, she's like, I want you to turn your legs to the side and then back to the other side. Like you're kind of just like going like this with your knees. And she's like, do it in the laziest way possible. And I'm
Dude.
like, this is amazing. Like
Yeah, when it comes to stretching, there's no lazy about it. I'm like, oh, this hurts.
not in
That's
this
funny.
one.
That's good.
In this one, because you're kind of just like releasing stiffness in your muscles and trying to release whatever you might have trapped up in there. So there is a point at which you get further into it, and she has you like clench your whole body, like your whole face is scrunched up all the way down to your toes, and then you release it, but you have to hold it for a while. And there's a point at which you're just like, why the frick am I still holding on to this? And then you let go, and you're like, oh, that felt really good. And she was like, there are times in your day where you're doing that, like you're just holding on. And the second you let go, all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, this isn't as bad as I thought it was. Let me get a
Mhm.
deep breath in here. And so it just helps. I think it's great for the mindfulness aspect too, because you can start catching yourself doing it. Like I don't live in a place with snow anymore, thank the Lord. But I remember times when I would drive in blizzards and I would catch myself like with the shoulders up. And I'm like, why does my neck hurt? And it's like, because you're just hoping you don't go off the road and you put your shoulders down. You're like, oh, okay, this is not as bad. But catching yourself, I feel like is mindfulness, you know,
Mhm.
that awareness. So
Very cool. I had to jump on because I was excited, but I was like, okay, I need to get some
I'm
mindfulness.
glad we weren't sure who was going to show up because of the storm and everything. And
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah,
I've got power. Let's go.
I was just gonna say if you guys didn't know, Corey's on the call, but he's still getting some stuff ready around
Something
his house.
saw,
He's
chainsaw and rain. Chainsaw and rain is all we know.
he's closer to where it's going to hit, and
He's south. So yeah,
Yeah.
he's Sarasota area. I know it's funny because when we were talking about it, I was like, I don't want it to go anywhere. I
yeah,
really don't. I just want it to like dissipate because
right. That's what I was
I
like. I was
don't
hoping
feel
for
right
dissipation.
about being like, go south. Because I don't want people south to get it, but I also do not want a direct hit. So I'm like, just turn into nothing. That's all. You're just gonna dissipate into the ocean, and no one's ever gonna see you again.
That would be nice.
Let's
That'd
just.
be really
That's what
cool.
we're meditating on, calmness in the storm. So we're gonna
Daniel,
send.
good to see you on the call. I don't know if you're able to talk or
Yeah, I can talk. I just have myself on mute.
oh, no worries.
Where
I
you
just
headed?
yeah.
I'm actually on my way to Vero Beach right now. I have a uncle that lives out there on my dad's side of the family. I put a full day worth of calls over at the office in Orlando, and that was pretty good. I got another deal locked up over in Fort Worth, Texas today. So I was like, yeah, Milton ain't got nothing on me, baby.
That's
Nice.
awesome. You're staying with your uncle?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, my parents, they're over there right now. They
Oh, good.
evacuated from the Tampa area yesterday.
Oh,
I'm just
Cool.
nice.
last of the Mohicans because I'm over here trying to lock up deals.
So
That's
they're just
awesome.
waiting for you to get there. Hurry up.
Yeah, absolutely. I should be fine. According
Yeah.
to the ETA, I have like 45 minutes left. And funny enough, I think if something was to happen to me, God forbid right now, but if something was to happen to me right now, I should be fine because I just passed a convoy of National Guardsmen.
They got your back.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I'm like, okay, my six is covered. We're good. All right, boys, let's stay together at 6 miles an hour. Let's go.
Oh,
There you go.
that's
You're good.
crazy. I know the last time we did our breathwork Zoom, you were saying how you were kind of looking to start implementing some things like that, maybe being a little bit more mindful of things. Have you been able to practice anything like that recently?
I was able to, not last night, but definitely yesterday morning. And it was actually a situation that required me to do some breath work. I was on the phone with a seller in New Smyrna Beach. I was speaking with him on the phone. Like the first minute went by okay because I introduced myself. And then when I told him how I'm with the company, quick cash offer, and we're looking to purchase his home, I kid you not, for 5 minutes straight, he was starting to cuss me out really bad. It was loud,
Mm,
really bad cussing me out. My heart rate was elevated a little bit because I
Mm.
wanted to say a couple things back, and it was one of those like, looky here. But I was like, you know what, let me just breathe it out real quick. The last thing I want to do is intensify the situation already. And
Hmm.
so I was doing some breathing on my part while he was just cussing me out left and right. And then that's when I was trying to get real with him. Like I changed my tone and I was like, okay, Mr. Seller, what's going on? Is there anything that, I need to be aware of or anything like that? It sounds like he woke up on the wrong side of bed today. Luckily, the breath work I did prior to that helped me like, neutral tone and be able to communicate with the guy. And he ended up being a real nice guy afterwards. We were on the phone for like 12 minutes before he had to get going, but I walked around at home, but the breath work did help at least. Like I was, as he was cussing me out, 4 minutes, 4 seconds in, hold it, don't say anything, 4 seconds out, and maybe under my breath a couple of times. This Mike Foxtrot.
right. Yeah. It's funny because when Kaylee and I door knock, she is quicker to anger than I am. Uh, and she just, people curse you out. They don't want you there. They're having a tough time and they don't want to talk to you. And they definitely don't want to look you in the face and talk about it. And so we've definitely had people just call us every name under the sun and just what you said, just like go off.
Right.
And there's been times where she would not respond in kindness and we'd get in the car and I'd be like, that's just what did that solve? You know what I mean? Like they're not actually mad at us.
Hmm.
If we can be mindful of the situation and stay present, they're not mad at us. They're mad at their situation. They're mad at other people coming to their door. They're mad at shitty wholesalers that are just out here trying to rob them of their home. They're mad at the bank for not giving them leniency. They're mad at their life circumstances, their choices, their children, their dog, the boyfriend. They're mad at everybody. And we just happen to be the people who gave them a justifiable reason to yell at you? And so if you put yourself in their position and you recognize like if they're really in foreclosure and they're going through a really tough time, or maybe they're just not in obviously we're talking to them for a reason. We know they're in a low point. And so if we take that into consideration and not we have the choice to hang up. You have the choice to hang up. We have the choice to walk away if we can't respond in kindness, or we can stand there and just be like, okay, is there anything I can help you with? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not going to let you take me out of my character because I recognize this isn't about me in any circumstance. I was like, when you get in a car, you can call them every freaking name under the sun. I don't care. Like, get it out. It's frustrating having people who you're trying to help be terrible to you, especially like the way we did it. We literally helped infinite more people by giving them resources than we ever bought their home. And I know that. So I can stand strong in that and know that like I am who I am. I'm going to be mindful of what's happening in this current situation and I'm going to breathe through it the entire time you're calling me terrible things and acting like I'm a horrible person, which I know I'm not. And I'm not going to get defensive about something that I don't have any control over, which is your perception of me. I have no control over that. I can stand here and be who I am and be the person that, like I'm trying to present myself to be and be mindful of the fact that you are going through a really fucking rough time, regardless. And I know nothing about it because I'm not in your shoes. So I'm glad that you took that time to like breathe that out and not do your first instinct, which is like, how dare you? Uh, but it's that mindfulness and recognizing this isn't about me ever. I have nothing to do with what is happening in your life. at all. I didn't cause this, but I can hopefully help you.
Yeah, absolutely. If anything, it's almost similar to my customer service experience that I've had at Publix. Because
Right,
definitely when I worked over there, plenty of Karens and their
right,
mamas
right,
and some Karens. You mean
right.
to tell me this BOGO is expired and then some? I've been waiting for months for this. I'm like, Mr. Smith, now I understand the situation, but and he's like, no, F you. I want my free chicken. Ah, kind of the same
Did you just get
instance.
Cartman on us?
Oh, don't get me
Respect
started.
my
That is my alter ego. I will go Cartman mode sometimes. I'm like, respect my authority.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's funny. But yeah, that's a really good way to put it, Monica, because it's so funny how quick we are to get offended and just take things personally when they're not even meant that way at all.
right.
And if you just take a second to step back and look at the other person's perspective and be like, okay, I need to recognize that, this is nothing against me. It has nothing to do with me. And really just come at things in a more caring perspective because everybody's always got stuff going on that we don't see or know about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like literally put yourself in their shoes. If someone knocked on your door and was like, yo, I heard you're in foreclosure, I'm here to help, you'd be like, get the fuck out of my like street, get out of here. Or if you called someone like, hey, do you want to, I want to buy, I literally had to stop myself because someone did that to me. They called me asking to buy my house because they saw I had a ton of equity. And I was like, if you don't get off my fucking phone right now, like, F you, I do not want to sell my damn house. That was my first reaction. Like, how dare you call me? And then I was like, ma'am, you are that person. You are that person. You cannot be mad at the fact that they hold you up on a high equity, list and are doing their job.
Yeah.
But I had to step back because I was like, how dare you waste my time with this stupid phone call?
Aaron, did you
Uh,
have anything you wanted to jump in and share with?
Well, I'm not in the real estate game like you guys, so I can't piggyback off of that as far as that goes.
Oh
But
well, I'm
no, I
sure in your job you deal with people who are just mad at
yeah,
you for
see,
life.
oh yeah, actually, I was talking to somebody about it today. Just, what was it? You ever get to a point to where you're just done with people, right?
Every day.
And it happens all the time, like every day, right? So, and yeah, I do get done with people, especially in this job, because sometimes people just don't want to listen. They don't want to
Hmm.
listen, or and even still with that, being mindful of their situation too. Sometimes you just got to be like the person just to just take it. Just take it. They just want to vent. They want to get it out, and then because there's really no point in trying to be in the or intermittent that conversation. Just let them get it out, and then you can start kind of working the issue and the problem and trying to come up with a solution if there is any. So yeah, I mean, being mindful of that. I mean, and that also comes with control, self-control too, and not like losing your shit as well. I mean, don't get me wrong, there has been times where I've lost my shit, but I feel like it's kind of justified because you have to be that person too, because they just don't get it. But yeah, and then even before this, there's a lot of things that I've been realizing lately as I've been through this journey. I know Monica and Jackie and Corey, they've been following me on all the stuff I've been posting on Facebook and stuff. But I'm in a lot better place too. And it was like last week, and there's times when I've like stopped myself and was just like, man, because I've been more happy, I guess, more expressive, just in a better place of mind. And when I'm talking to people and doing things, I've stopped myself and paused and just kind of recognized and kind of embraced the moment of like, damn, like I've been like, I'm more social now and I'm talking more and I'm mindful of kind of like what I'm doing in a positive light. And I'm just like, wow, this is crazy. Like this, you know, focusing on everything that I need to work on and implementing that. It's been kind of cool to see that. And I'm just so self-aware about it too, and it's to pause and see that and recognize it and just be like, kind of pat yourself on the shoulder or on the back. It's cool. So that's just kind of things that I've been noticing and just my mindfulness on everything.
Isn't
that's
that like
awesome.
so fun when you start having that self-awareness of like, I didn't react to that the way I usually do. Or,
Yeah.
hey, I just smelled the roses like for real. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you just want
yeah.
to share that with as many people as possible. Like, you don't have to be a miserable asshole all day. There are
hmm
options for you. You know, you can be out here smiling at strangers. It's possible. You could have a
Oh yeah.
good day for no reason with just
Yep.
some small self-awareness, mindfulness, taking accountability for the places that you're putting yourself in if it's not in a good place, or habits that you have that don't make you feel good. And when you start making the habits that do make you feel good repetitive, you're like, this, I'm not stopping this. This is fantastic. And when you do, you're like, dang,
Yeah. Like
I,
just joking with people, like
there's
try
a
to,
lightness.
yeah, it is. And you just kind of like piggyback off of that and you joke back with each other and it's fun. It's cool. But yeah,
I
just
love
be
that.
and also being able to just I'm trying to teach myself and get myself to just carry on conversations. So to get out of that uncomfortableness of just like an awkward silence or something, or don't really know what to say or how to respond to, people that were talking or whatever. So it's been fun so far. It's
Nice.
been cool.
What do you think was the biggest trigger for you?
As far as
Like, what do you think was like the biggest pivot to what's created this new change?
honestly, I really don't know. Like,
It might be
I
a
mean,
lot of little things. Who knows?
yeah, and I think so too. Well, yeah. So like with my weight loss, I'm down 50 pounds now in like 3 months, and then audiobooks, listening to books, reading books, watching YouTube videos and shit, self-help type of stuff. And then having a network of people that I can talk to and just bounce off ideas and get different perspectives and, I guess maybe some sort of validation too. But just trying to stay consistent with that every day and recognizing I'm aware of the moments where I'm just like, I don't want to do shit. Like, I don't want to go work out. I'm hungry. Like I want Taco Bell. I want cookies and cakes and crap. But just I guess all those things are starting to. It's all building together and molding and mending and having that mental toughness and that grit and that determination, the dedication, the getting the confidence. Like it's just everything, and it's showing. At least I think it is.
Amazing. It
Yeah.
sounds like the positive inputs are having a good output, right? Like the results are all the positive input, like food, exercise, mental diet, the things that you're paying attention to are all
hmm
helping shift everything in
hmm
the right direction.
Yeah, and so and all that stuff I post too. Like I'm any type of motivational speaker. Or I'm not trying to get really anybody to kind of do anything. A lot of that stuff I post is really accountability for me. But since I've been doing it, I've had a bunch of people reach out to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're just like, dude, man, I've been watching your stuff and
It's
you've
inspiring,
you've
encouraging.
Mm-hmm.
inspired me. Yeah, you've inspired me to get on my shit and start working out again. I've had people from work just come up to me like, dude, man, you look great. You're doing good. Just stuff like that. And people that I haven't even really talked to in a long time or even been consistent with talking to. They've even reached out to me like, dude, man, you're doing great. What are you doing? What program are you on? Or what are you listening to? Like it's interesting and makes me feel good. It makes me seem like what I'm doing is right, like I'm on the right track.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So
And you
it's
never
and
know who
it's
you're going
it's
to impact, just by sharing what you're listening to, just by showing that you can do it too. And they're like, well, if he can do it, I can do it. It's
yeah.
all those little ripples.
Yeah, I'm not even trying to impact anybody. Like I said, it's just more for me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been cool to just get all that feedback.
I love it.
It's great. Yeah, I don't know if anyone else had anything they wanted to share, but I'm definitely excited to get into Monica's meditation. I know it's going to be a good one.
I'm trying to get I did not get Spotify ready. So hold on just a second.
No worries.
Yeah, I'm ready for some calm vibes for our area. Everyone just send sleepy vibes to this hurricane. Go to sleep.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie, through this hurricane, if I was at my place right now, between the rain pattering on the window and putting on some lo-fi music, that is my love language for some sleep.
Oh, I love it. I love a good thunderstorm. Love a
hmm
good thunderstorm.
I sleep like a baby through thunderstorms. I've slept through
Same.
hurricanes as a kid.
Okay. Here we go. You hear that?
Yes.
All right. Everyone except for Danny. Close your eyes. And take deep breath in, and a very deep breath out through your nose. We're going to do this another 5 breaths. Go as deep as you can on your inhale, making sure you're filling your entire belly, and your lungs, and your throat until you can't hold any more oxygen. And then take a quick little inhale at the very top, fill it up a little more, and then try to exhale it as slowly as possible. And do that for the next 4 breaths. And with each exhale, feel any tension in your body melting away, any stress, any worries. Anything that's weighing you down. The last inhale, breathe in a little more at the top. Exhale slowly. Now just be mindful of the air entering through your nose, feel it moving through your nostrils, into your throat, down into your lungs. Feel the gentle rise of your chest. Anytime you want to bring some mindfulness into your day, you can do this. You don't need to close your eyes. Just pay attention to how your chest cavity expands with each breath. Your ribs move. You feel the cool air in your throat. And maybe challenge yourself to see how many seconds it will take for you to empty that breath. As we learned in our breathwork call, the longer the exhale, the more relaxed your body will be. So if we lengthen the exhale longer than the inhale, we can become relaxed. Loosen up, release tension. As we breathe in, I want us to visualize the calmest lake you've ever seen. The water not moving. There is no ripples, no waves, just a still, calm lake. You can see the reflection of the sky perfectly. It's a beautiful summer day. Maybe every once in a while you see a dragonfly laying on the water. Water is calm, peaceful. That same calm and peacefulness can wash over us. You hold that vision in your mind. You are a calm, still lake, unbothered, serene. We're going to take a deep breath in. And collectively, I'd like us, when we exhale, to send that same calming energy to the storm, Hurricane Milton, the ocean, to everyone in our area, all of the people outside of our area that are worried, that are fearful. I'm going to send that calm, serene, peaceful energy, like the surface of that perfect mirror lake. So let's do that one more time. One more deep inhale. And as we exhale, we send that energy as far and wide as we can. Place your hand on your heart. Feel the warmth of your hand. Feel the rise of your chest with each inhale. We send calm, protective energy over anyone that may be affected by the storm, near and far. Stay grounded. Stay calm. Feel that present energy, doing what we can, and having trust and faith that everything will work out in the best outcome for everyone involved. And love. Love is so healing. Like Jackie mentioned, getting a hug can just break down whatever tension or fear, or anger that you may be temporarily experiencing. Send that love, a warm hug. Everyone that may be feeling that frantic, panicky, fearful energy. Try not to perpetuate that. Stay calm. Serene. Peaceful. Take a few deep breaths in, expanding that energy as far as we can. As always, from Jackie, Corey, and I want to say thank you for everyone that's shared their energy with us this evening, that was present, mindful, generous with their energy. We appreciate you so much. We're so grateful. Thank you for taking the time to join us on this meditation, sharing your beautiful energy with everyone. We appreciate you. The light in me, the beautiful light in all of you. Namaste. Thank you. Feel free to start wiggling your fingers and your toes, bringing your body back to this room. Feel free to open your eyes. Danny's still awake, eyes open. Happy to see it.
That's awesome. Almost didn't want to come back.
Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, hopefully everyone stays calm and chill.
Yeah,
Positive, positive vibes.
definitely trying to send you guys those calm, positive vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know it's still like a day-ish away, so
Mm-hmm.
hopefully you guys just figure out where you're staying and well, I know you guys know where you're staying, but I'm saying everybody kind of get in their spots and just kind of let go for a little bit because
Exactly.
yeah.
Yep. I know. I was listening to something, and I'm not a necessarily like God person. I am
Mm-hmm.
a, higher power, infinite intelligence, universe, that kind of person. But I heard somebody say, let go, let God. And I was like, it's so accurate. Like do what you can, let go, and then let's see what happens,
Mm-hmm.
because nothing else is productive. You know, we just do the best that we can and then hope for the best. And I think there's so much power in collective energy, and that's not the collective energy that's happening right now. That calm, cool, um,
Mm-hmm.
kindness. I haven't seen too much of that lately. Not lately. With the cleanup, we've been seeing a lot of kindness, but the last couple of days, just being out and about at the grocery stores and stuff.
Yeah, I've been hearing people are grabbing, like stocking up on things they don't need when there's people that have nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you have to be conscious about that, because you can this is perfect. We can be very mindful of that, right? Because it's so easy to get wrapped up in like the panic and the hype and the, oh my goodness, we should go get everything we possibly can because who knows. And then you chill out and you're like, as soon as the storm leaves, the stores are going to open back up. It might take a little bit to get stuff down here, but like as long as you have food to get you through a few days, restaurants are going to open back up because they need to make money. Like you're going to have options, you
Mm-hmm.
know? So there was that like second where I was like, we should go to Costco. We need paper towels. We could get bread and da 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 da. And Mark was like, okay, when are we going? And I was like, you know what? We don't. We have 4 rolls of paper towels. We'll be fine for a few days. We've got
Yeah.
2 loaves of bread. We'll be fine. So I was like, we're not going. Like, just I had to like talk myself out of it, because it's so easy to just get
Yeah.
wrapped up in the whirlwind of everyone else doing the absolute most. And I was like, you know what? I'm not adding to the chaos today. Stay home.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, So we did that, and it felt good.
Good.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here.
Yeah, I appreciate you all.
Corey, we miss you.
I know. Stay safe out there, friend.
Yeah. Yeah, till next week. I was trying to figure out what the topic was, but we'll post about it.
We definitely will. I was just gonna say I can pull it up. I have my
Oh,
Insta open.
it's the art of goal setting. That'll be a good one.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah. Thanks,
Thanks,
Erin.
Erin.
Till next week, guys. You guys have a great rest of your week. Stay safe, and we'll talk soon.